Tonight on MyTeam. Time to send it through the streets of Singapore. I contract pneumonia, and can we really reach for the stars in Singapore? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the F1 23 MyTeam career mode. Today, we head to Singapore for a 50% race, no less. Proper marathon, and it's set to be one where the second slowest car. What the fuck? At least we have 2 upgrades on the car to cure the depression. We have a drag reduction aerodynamics upgrade and the general durability upgrade plastered onto the car. Convenient, really, because we've retired in a 5th of all the races so far this season. Hopefully history doesn't repeat itself as we make our way into qualifying. It's that bloody time again, everybody. The Singapore Ferris wheel puts on an incredible light show, but nothing like the symphony of V6 noise that will propel its way around the Singapore streets. Look at that sexy team, Ribena Racing, looking for even more after their Italian Grand Prix. And this is a bit weird. This is very unfamiliar. The old section. You can tell I recorded this about 5 centuries ago. New layout or old layout, nonetheless, we're going to absolutely send it as much as we can and aim for the stars. Through the final couple of corners here for our first lap here at the Singapore Grand Prix, using all of the track into the first few corners, breaking between that 150-meter board. We're going to then pinch it into the apex there. A bit of pickup on the tyres, though. We have to be a bit careful on the power, and it could be a bit tetchy as to whether we get out of Q1. We're through to Q2 easily. I mean, it's not even close. It's an ominous benchmark for the rest of the grid to try and get as we look down at who's been a Jack, 2.4 seconds off me, yeah? 2.4. You fudgesicles, it's time for Q2. Let's gloss over that slight skill issue and get our way through, slinging through the Singapore streets into the first few corners once again, then missing that apex, but crucially keeping it well within track limits, and the pinch into the third corner. That's a clean set of first corners if I've ever said so before. Through to turn 4, downforce cranked up to the maximum, and so is our composure, so is our control. It's absolutely pristine power and precision from us as we head down the straight, a purple first sector into the left-hander, keeping it within the white lines, which is absolutely what we want to do. And, well, rather ironically, the quickest part of our track is in the old section, so that doesn't bode well, does it? The car reacts and complies so beautifully through this section, though. It's dancing through the streets of Singapore, a bit of tango in its tush. That's disgusting. Stop that right now. We navigate the last corners wonderfully, and across the line we go. It's not the only lines we've been taking in Singapore. Anyway, we're first place. We're first place, and it's not even close. 1 second is the gap. Like, come on. Current championship leader can't even get within a whiff of our pace. That is a hell of a statement to make. Aston Martin, by the way, have the fastest car and are both out. Oh, no. Q3, the jury's in. The times are flooding in. The gauntlet is set by Charles Leclerc, a 1 minute 35.8. And that doesn't even really matter. Our Q2 time was even a few tenths quicker than that anyway. And with the way the track continues to evolve, I see no reason why we can't go for pole position today. Maybe a 134 is on the cards. However, I don't feel like there's a huge amount of pace left in this car. But you best believe we're going to do absolutely everything we can to assert our dominance and ascertain ourselves as a proper threat this weekend in Singapore. Our final lap of qualifying begins now. 30 seconds on the clock, and time is most certainly on our side this weekend. As through the first few corners we go, the car darting into the apex like a dart. I really need to work on my analogies, don't I? Through the 4th corner, the car pinches that apex and then uses all of the track on the way out. Not towards the wall, because otherwise you'd be dead. But through down the straight here, and I'll tell you what, there's something about high downforce tracks this year that for some reason I absolutely love. Whether it's just because the feeling in the car is there because of the handling model, whether it's because this car is just absolutely twirling round this Singapore track. Absolutely gloriously. Into the left-hander we go, over the curb, and hardly even bats an eyelid. Hardly even rides it like Tony Hawk. We're hardly spat out of the other end as into the left-hander we go. Late apex. Look at the way the front end absolutely pinches in there. This is an absolutely glorious machine to drive. Only something that a few drivers have had in their careers. Schumacher, Hamilton, Verstappen, Vettel, what have they all had in common? Having a car where they can absolutely finesse their way around the track with no worries, no fears. Absolutely 110% confidence as under the bridge we go, through the old section, hitting every single apex, using every single piece of runoff to perfection, through the final couple of corners, across the line now, and you can probably guess how this is going to end. The writing's on the wall! Come on! Pole position at the Singapore Grand Prix. Oh, it was actually quite close. Even so, the competition provided their maximum, pushed us to the limits. We went beyond those limits. We transcended their realms of driving comprehension and ability today. Pole position by just over 2 tenths. Us and Leclerc were in a different continent compared to everybody else. It wasn't really even close, but Sainz gets P3. Ferrari set to have a great weekend. But look at this. Red Bull and Mercedes have dropped the ball. So with this in mind, there's surely only one outcome. We have to make the most of this. Let's go get this win.
It's the Singapore Grand Prix, where Sebastian Vettel has the most wins here with 5. Who will be lifting the trophy today here at the Marina Bay Circuit? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Grim Reaper lines up on pole position, Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Ocon, Albon, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Joe, Tsunoda, Doohan, Magnussen, De Vries and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. With me today, of course, is Natalie Pinkham. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? And we welcome to the commentary box Anthony Davidson. And they've suffered a grid penalty due to taking a new gearbox. It could mean a tough race install.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
I've got a good feeling about this. Let's destroy them. 5 red lights! Lights out and away we go. Felt like an eternity before the lights finally went out. Leclerc with a good start though. Has the inside line. Tries to go for the move. We hold it around the outside and thwart his plans. Curtail the threat. We remain in P1. And now our plan is to simply try and escape as much as possible. We have to do everything in our power to make sure Leclerc doesn't put us under the pressure, doesn't bring us down to everyone else's level. We know what kind of pace we have. Oh my god, he's driving a rocket ship. Within 2 tenths of us by the end of the straight. He's absolutely reeled us in. We're the big fish. And boy, was Leclerc going for the catch. And I mean, why wouldn't you? Look at that sexy, man. But through the old section, under the bridge once again, and this is the bit where we shine. What was a 7th, 10th gap? Make that 1.1 seconds. We're out of DRS already, and it's lap number 1. I told you, there's something about high downforce tracks that I just can't quite put my finger on. But when all 4 Pirellis touch the bitumen and bite into the surface, when all is said and done, we absolutely fly. We've done it at Monaco. This is our 2nd street track in the night lights this time, where we can really cause some havoc. In fact, it's not even that, to be honest with you. We had Monaco and we had Miami where we took the wins. Baku even, we got P2. God, hark the early days of Ribena Racing on this game. Goodness me, we've had some great success, as I'm showing you this whole lap to show just how much time we gain. What started out as 1.1 seconds, bearing in mind, now is 1.2, as Leclerc through that first sector. His straight line speed is absolutely immaculate, but it's the rest of this track where we're going to absolutely launch our way through and say to Leclerc, good night, Irene. Purple Sector 1, it'll soon be a Purple Sector 2. I have no doubt about that. I'll tell you what, the last time I saw this much purple, I had a Friday night sesh. That's probably not safe. There's children or what. Anyway, look, glossing over my Friday night protocol, it is a Purple Sector 2. I told you it would be. And I can certainly and confidently predict that by the end of this lap, it'll be 3 purples. The full house. We are the head of this casino train, and boy, have we reaped the benefits of the pace of our car, the use of the track, the driving on display. There's nothing quite like it, as using all of the runoff and almost then some over the... Ignore. But over the line we go, and it is a 139.1. Somehow not a Purple Sector 3, though. So we could start to worry a little bit. However, I'll spoil it for you. We've crushed them. Lap number 3, onto lap number 4. The gap now almost 3 seconds. Now, the next lap number 5 almost, and the gap's almost 4 seconds. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? As we head through now, almost onto lap number 6, skating over that curb properly that time, nearly sliding into an early demolition derby. But through the final corners, we go extremely wide, really pushing the limits and overdoing it, to be honest with you. But, you know, it could get a bit interesting here. Lads, I'll level with you. It's lap 10. It's lap 10, and we're not even under threat. It's not even close. In fact, 8.4 seconds is the gap between us and Charles Leclerc. The man who thought he could take our gauntlet for pole position on Saturday. On Sunday, he's got absolutely nothing to fight with. Multiple temps on his head top per corner. That is absolutely ridiculous display of pace. As through this section, once again we go. As the tyres start to wear out, you have to be so careful on the throttle. Otherwise, you spear into Latvia or something. That was just the first country that came into my head. Don't ask. Almost at the end of lap number 11, though. And what I was going to say is that we're doing a 2-stop this race. To make sure we get the full complement of points, but also to show that we are going to absolutely destroy and crush any hopes and dreams that any of the drivers will have worked up on overnight through the old section. There's no point in me giving you any advice on that bit, because it's been absolutely eviscerated. Into the pits we go then, and we do meet the speed limit. This bloody Tesco car park speeds. I could read a bloody book while we're going up to our pit box. Anyway, let's see if we can answer the ultimate question. Is it a purple turn-in? Yes! Thanks again, Ronaldo, for deafening me. Tyres off, and then we try and put... What? Why? What do you mean? Oh, for God's sake. Well, quite apart from the fact my engineer needs a new guide dog because he thought the front right was the front left. Anyway, out of the pit lane we go. I could go on forever about how my pit crew are a bunch of... Oh my God, wait. It's pit lane espionage. Ferrari only had one chance of beating us this race to get Charles Leclerc into the big time. And the only way they could do that was by sabotaging our pit crew. I don't believe it. Those scoundrels. I'm going to infuse them with ketamine and commit kill. So, new medium tyres then. And I said I'd only show you lap 2 the whole way through. Wrong. I'm going to show you all of lap 12. The gap to Perez is 4 seconds at the moment. Watch that get absolutely chomped. 3.2 seconds. Make that 3 seconds. Oh, make that under 3 seconds now. That time is absolutely melting away. It's eroding before your very eyes. Into the right-hander. This car is reacting so well. Into this hairpin next up. I'm going to... Sorry, I've contracted allergies. Allergies to this pace on display. Under 2 seconds now, the gap. Almost within DRS range of Sergio Perez. And let me tell you now, we are cooking. That was quite vulgar. I'm beginning to sweat slightly. But anyway, through the bridge section once again. Like I say, can't give you any advice. There's no point. But underneath the bridge we go. Perez, our first target. Look at how much pace we have. We're going to waste no time down the inside of Sergio Perez. That's P11. Almost back in the points. Now the Alpines are next. Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly have done quite well. There's actually Perez with a grid penalty there. Struggling to make the move stick. But Ocon sending it down the inside. Lovely little move there into turn number 1. We are going for glory here in Singapore. Not wasting a single opportunity that comes our way. Into turn 4. Look at the traction we get. Look at the exit we get. Using a bit of battery, but we know the AI straight line speed is ridiculous. So we bide our time and launch the braking down the inside of Gasly. That's going to be my Yosu's phrase of the day. Make that 2 in 1. Alonso and Stroll, he just sees us at the last minute, Alonso. I'm setting hard tyres for no reason. But anyway, P7 now. I thought we got damage off of Alonso. I thought he made contact, but no, we're okay. Hamilton next. Look at that for a move. Down the inside there. He tries to go wide to get the optimum racing line. We say thank you very much. And we pay our compliments to Verstappen. Down the inside, the championship leader. Sent out wide. Through into P5. Carlos Sainz is next now, and considering I'm ill, this is not great for my voice, but I'll tell you what it is great for, my self-esteem. Carlos Sainz, round the outside this time, you say. Stop it, you zesty man. P4 just like that, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is 8 cars in 1 lap. That is ridiculous right there. We are absolutely flying here in the streets of Singapore. Lando Norris is next, launching it down the inside. We've cruise missiled him. We also send him out for a beer over at the Singapore pub. They don't drink beer, do they? It doesn't really matter because Leclerc... No, it's not Leclerc, it's Russell, I apologise. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well. We have pace. And George Russell is going to feel our pace as we go wide into turn 3. Cut back. Look at that for traction. Easily past George Russell. We hang back a bit, though. Trying to get the DRS. We go round the outside into turn 4. And we've screwed it.
What a moron.
It doesn't really matter, to be honest. We're up into P2. But remember, Russell with that DRS. Look at that straight line speed. Went for a gap that didn't exist. Dummies it and switches to the outside. We're always going to thwart that opportunity, though. Every single day of the week. And now the chase can begin for Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari car. 4.6 seconds the gap at the end of that lap. 3 seconds a lap on Charles Leclerc as he comes into the pits. Must be for his one and only pit stop. There's no other explanation. Yes, onto the hard tyres goes Charles Leclerc. And, well, I mean, the only thing that's going to stop us from winning this race is apparently our fuel. There's nothing else that can possibly curtail this opportunity. Prize this moment away from us. Under the bridge we go. Halfway through. No! No, what's that? No, you're kidding me. No, that can't be what I think it is. Surely not. Not after the drive. No! No, you're joking me. Ah! Why? Nah, come on, man. Great. We've been out of the 5th of the races this season. The F1 gods say make that statistic even worse. 1/4 of the races we've been in, we've had to retire from mechanical failures. We are out of the Singapore Grand Prix. And where in Zandvoort I was annoyed because we had a small whiff of glory, here it was an open goal. And even then, VAR has screwed us. I don't even know what to say, honestly. That's another win gone.
It's never easy to make it across the finish line.
Alex, don't you freaking dare.
Done so with some style.
Don't you even have the audacity to make this any worse than it is.
Natalie, fill us in. What was it that helped the team achieve their...
Oh. Oh, do you think I'm mad? No, actually, I'm fine. I'm genuinely fine. You know... Shit off! What a joke. Honestly, again, we have to suffer the fate of the mechanical failure. We still finished that race with the fastest lap, bearing in mind, and the others would have had fresher tyres towards the end of the race and less fuel. We had monstrous pace today. There is no denying that. And we've been absolutely, cruelly robbed. We've been absolutely fleeced by the FIA and F1. I'm going to blame the FIA because I don't know what else to blame, to be honest with you. They've probably done something wrong anyway, let's be honest. Championship-wise, it's not looking great, though. We're only however many points ahead of Perez, 3 points. It's now a 30-point deficit to Max Verstappen over a race win's worth, which would have been easily overcome had we won this race, but we won't talk about that. Absolute sky-high elation plummets into crippling despair this weekend, let's be honest. Otherwise, though, Hamilton and Russell still keeping tabs with Sergio Perez and catching up. Good result for Alpine as well, a double-point score. And for Lando Norris, which means in the constructors' standings, well, the gap between McLaren and Aston, that's the one to watch. Only 10 points. We've already secured 4th. No one's going to even compete with us, I'll be honest with you. We are massive. But Mercedes also have a job to do. It's their job to try and put the pressure on Red Bull for the rest of this season. I skipped the rivalry breakdown, but despite my ICE becoming an internally combusting engine, we don't lose that much to Perez, which is all the more positive, really, despite the weekend we've had, going forwards through this little battle. We get a cheeky bit of dosh as well from Achive for getting the fastest lap in that session, and I offended the nitrogen particle somehow, so I got nothing else in bonus. That's great. Back in the factory then, and we're not even going to talk about that. What I am going to talk about is what's even more of a kick in the dick. As you can see, we had no faults on. They were turned off. I don't even remember turning them off, but they were off. And we still got a mechanical failure. IGN gave this game an 8 out of 10, guys. Right, let's see what they have to answer for then. Oh, well, I mean, fuel efficiency was a tiny bit of a problem, so I mean, you know, we might as well get a little cheeky discount here. No reason why we can't. Oh, we also have a sponsor negotiation to do. Our contract with Achive has run out, even though they have proved a very faithful servant to us in our crusade for a championship lead. So we're going to look around, see what everyone else's offers are. English is actually eluding me. You'd be surprised to know I was born here. But looking down, there's one that sticks out to me. Esto Perpetua. Get 10 points in a weekend. That is easily possible. And just to offset the depression a bit more, a cheeky aerodynamic upgrade is plastered on the car. Look at this complete monkfish. Oh, sorry, I had a mechanical failure. Here's compensation. Get in the bin. I will cube your head. The slimy Sontaran will be sliced to pieces, but it was a gearbox failure again. Just, of course it was. What else would it be? Our second gearbox failure, and that's twice more than it should be. Anyway, well, you know, it's another win down the drain, but at least the next race can't be any worse. Oh my god, we're so screwed. I'm gonna blazon that image out of my head, and we're gonna move on from this weekend and call a day to this MyTeam episode. So thank you very much for watching. Round number 16. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed my depression. Japanese Grand Prix next. There will be tears. Just tears. But at least, hopefully, touch wood, and my desk is made of wood, so I'm in good stead. We will not have another mechanical failure in the next race. Hopefully we can reach for the podium once again, but it will prove a very tough ordeal. Until that next episode, or whatever the next video may be, I once again thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, I'll see you soon.